My greatest strength ultimately became my greatest weakness, my mindset. I was so lucky to play 13 years in the NBA. I lived my dream. I spent 30 years of my life playing basketball. Ever since I was 12 years old, I was the number 4 rated 7th grader in the country. I was told, hey, you're special, and you're different, and you have potential. As a result, you have to become invulnerable. Any sign of weakness, whether it's mental weakness or physical weakness or spiritual weakness or weakness of confidence, any weakness would be exploited by your opponent and you would lose your spot in line. What happens is, as an athlete, you start to put up walls around you. You become impenetrable. And as the stakes get higher and higher and higher and higher, guess what? Those walls get higher and higher and higher and higher. Imagine me playing my dream, the NBA. Playing for the Miami Heat, playing for the Houston Rockets, playing for the Memphis Grizzlies, living my dream that I thought about every single day as a child. Imagine 13-year-old Shane Battier seeing 34-year-old Shane Battier playing in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, making 6 3-pointers to help the Miami Heat win the World Championship. 13-year-old Shane would have thought that was pretty sweet. And what 34-year-old Shane Battier wishes he could tell 13-year-old Shane Battier was it is okay to be vulnerable. The illusion of invulnerability that you think you're going to need is going to be a detriment to you one day. And I didn't learn this until I played my last game in the NBA. I was 34 years old, I won 2 NBA titles, I played 13 years. I'd reached all of my goals in the game of basketball. I didn't want to play anymore, I just wanted to see what else the world had to offer. What I didn't know is when I took up that jersey for the last time, how much I felt my identity was tied to that jersey. So all of a sudden, that first day as a retired old ex-NBA player, I questioned, who was I? What was I about? The travesty was I felt so alone because I had spent 30 years of my life not letting anyone in. And it was a really, really dark place for me personally, and I felt alone. That's what I remember most of that. I just felt alone. I didn't feel that anyone could ever relate as to what I was going through, and no one could know what it felt like to step down from the highs of an NBA championship into retired lives. And as a result, I pushed everybody away because I had shame, I had anxiety, I'm sure I had depression, mourning the loss of what I spent 30 years building. And I didn't want to play anymore. It wasn't about going back and putting the shoes back on and the jersey and reliving those dreams. I'd passed that, but I was lost because of all those walls that I had built. I was lucky to have an amazing wife who said, look, I know you didn't want to go to therapy because you didn't want someone messing with your head and that may make you a worse shooter or whatever, and that's what I believed when I played. And I realized how misguided that actually was. She said, I think you need to talk to somebody and let someone into your world. Working with my coach, who I still work with, changed my life. He made me realize the importance of being vulnerable and letting people in, especially those who care about you the most, to be able to help you. And it really was a life-changing lesson that I had to learn. I wish I had learned that lesson many years earlier. I could have saved myself a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights, and a lot of ruffled relationships. We were all trying to climb up our own mountain, whatever that may be. In our industries, in our family lives, we all have hills and mountains that we want to climb. You know, it's imperative that you let people join you on your journey. A, it makes the journey much more fun to do it with somebody. And B, it will unlock something inside of you that you didn't know. The vulnerability that you learn to express and to share with people that you care about and love will become an absolute strength. I learned a lot of lessons in my 30 years plus of playing basketball professionally and at the highest level, but vulnerability and the ability to bring people with you and let people on the inside may be one of the most important things I learned. I think it's imperative, especially with young people trying to figure it out, that you relay like you're not going to have all the answers. And the feeling that maybe you're not worthy or you're an imposter are totally natural. Everyone has them. I had them. Here I am, the National Player of the Year in college, National Player of the Year in high school, and every time I stepped on the floor, I'm like, oh my gosh, is today the day they find out that I'm not that good? And that's true. I was terrified, I was petrified, so like I played my tail off to show myself, like, no, I can be that guy. But when we're all going through this journey, you think that the experiences and the emotions that you feel are unique to you. And let me tell you, they're probably not. And so, as a father of two wonderful kids now, I try to relay those messages that, look, forget all the championship rings and the trophies and all the things that I did. Like, the journey's always hard. And there was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of anxiety, but if you surround yourself with people that care about you and love you, you can get through anything. And so it's okay to acknowledge those feelings, just don't get stuck in the moment thinking those things are going to keep you from reaching your dreams, because if you don't let them, they won't, but it can be remedied by having that vulnerability. I'm a big believer that when you stop moving, atrophy sets in. That goes for your body, that goes for your mind, and that goes for your spirit. I didn't get to the top of the NBA, winning 2 NBA championships and playing 13 years by resting on my laurels. I was always in motion, always in motion. Being fit, being active, being proactive about my health in every form is still to this day like the most important thing. And I work really hard to think about my body and nourish my body. I nourish my mind and my spirit to function at a high level. Because even though I don't go out and try to guard Carmelo Anthony and Kobe Bryant and Kevin Durant anymore, it's important for me to be at my best to treat my body with respect and treat it like I'm trying to guard those guys. And it's a mindset, and as you get older, it's harder. Well, absolutely, no question. But you have to worry when you stop moving, and that's when the atrophy sets in. So hopefully, I can move and be fit and be active for a long, long time, because it's the heartbeat of life, really is.